Welcome to the course of CICD for automation testers. In this session, I'll be talking on Selenium grid on Docker. So in my last session, I talked about what is Docker, how you can install Docker, what are the different commands for Docker, from where you can get the different commands from where you can get the helps. In this session, I'll be talking on Selenium grid on Docker, how you can get Selenium grid on Docker, how you can configure it, and how you can use it. Okay, so Selenium grid. Okay, so the concept of Selenium grid, we all are aware. Selenium grid has one centralized hub and various nodes connecting to it. Okay, so and the Docker point of view as well, we have on the similar line, we have Selenium hub container and Selenium node containers. Okay, so in Docker terminology, we call everything as a container, every running application as a container. Okay, so I have some centralized Docker hub container, and then I have different Selenium node containers. Okay, these are my different nodes. I have some node with Internet Explorer, some node with Firefox, some node with Chrome. Okay, and what I'll be doing is I'll be connecting all these available nodes with my Selenium hub. Okay, and I'll instruct about my test execution to this Selenium hub. Then based on the availability, based on my desired capabilities, Selenium hub container will distribute my test cases to respective Selenium node containers where the test execution will happen. Okay, so in order to use Selenium grid, now what I need Selenium hub container and I need Selenium node containers. Okay, so from where I can get this Selenium hub container and from where I can get this Selenium node containers. Okay, so to get Selenium hub, I have already shown you how you can get a Selenium hub. Docker pull selenium /hub. So if you go to Docker hub, and you can just look out for Selenium. I have shown you this in last video, so you can get it by using this command, docker pull selenium /hub. Okay, and once you got this, okay, how you can see if it is downloaded in your machine, you can just use docker images. Okay, it will give you the list of all the images available in your Docker machine. So I have three images: Docker hub, Selenium, node, Firefox debug. Now what is this? These are the nodes which I am going to connect to my hub. Okay, so here we have some GitHub URL. Okay, let us go to this URL, what it shows. Okay, so this is the Docker Selenium project, and here in the readme file we have some great help available. What's there? So it is done by Selenium HQ. Okay, you can find this is the GitHub repository of Selenium HQ, Selenium centralized team. Okay, so they have created all these images for you, and which you can use and execute your test cases. So here you can see all the available images for Selenium. First one is Selenium base. It is the base image which includes Java runtime and Selenium server jar. Okay, if you want to execute your test cases on Selenium server alone without grid, then you can use this Selenium base. If you want to execute your test cases using Selenium grid, then you need to have this Selenium hub, which is the image for running grid hub. Okay, so what I need, I want to use Selenium grid, so I'll be using this Selenium hub. Okay, and what else we need now? Now we need some nodes. Okay, now what are the different nodes available? We have some Selenium node base, we have some Selenium node Firefox, Selenium node Chrome, Selenium node Chrome debug, and Firefox debug. Then there is something standalone Chrome, standalone Firefox. Now what's the difference? Okay, so if you just go for this debug, okay, if you go for this debug images, what it is saying is and run what it is saying is grid node with Chrome installed and run a VNC server need to be connected to grid hub. So if I run any application on the Docker, you will not see any UI. Okay, you will not see any UI available. Okay, your test cases will run, but you will not see any UI. Now if you want to see any UI, then you need to use this debug node, and then you need to configure this VNC server. Okay, so if you use this VNC server and this debug nodes, then you will be able to see the actual UI through this VNC server. Okay, so for this purpose, because I want to see this actual UI, I want to show you actual UI how it looks like. So I'll be using my these nodes, Selenium node Chrome debug and Selenium node Firefox debug. Okay, so how you can get it? Just by using the command docker pull selenium slash node Firefox debug and Selenium node Chrome debug. So if you just use these commands, you will be able to get it on your machines. Okay, so okay, see, I already have it. I already have Selenium hub, I already have Selenium node Firefox debug and node Chrome debug. Okay, so fine, what else next do we have? Now they have given you some help, okay, how you can run the different images. Okay, so there are different commands how you can run it. Okay, the very first command is, see, this is run command. Okay, so by using this run command, we will be running the images. Okay, we will be running the images. Okay, and what else we have? uh Very first thing what we need to do is, you can just go through this help. Okay, what I'll do is I'll directly show what I have, like what I have got from there itself. Okay, so what you can do is, just give me a second. Okay, so the very first thing what you need to do is you need to start this Selenium hub. Okay, and what this command is, I'll just explain you. I got this from the same page. Now what I want to do is I want to run my Selenium hub. Okay, so what I'll use, docker run. Okay, and here what I'm doing is, by default it will run port 4444, but if you want any extra port to connect it from your local host, then you need to expose it by using /p. Okay, sorry, -p. Make sure that it is capital. Okay, and which docker image you want to run? Selenium hub. Okay, name Selenium hub. Okay, so if you want any kind of help, just go to docker run -help. Okay, so here you will get the information why I use this capital P, why I use this what and all I used over here, small d. Okay, so here you can find all the information. Okay, so this is my command, how I can run my docker, how I can start my docker Selenium hub on docker. Okay, so let me just copy this command. Okay, and let me just give it over here. Okay, so let's see, it has given me some number. Okay, and what is saying is, a driver failed program external connectivity endpoint Selenium hub. Give me a second, error in starting. Okay, let me check if I need to sign in. You have to remove the container which is able to reuse that name. Let me remove this container. Okay, give me a second, guys. Okay, what I'll do is, let me restart my docker. So you can just click here and right click on your docker and restart. It will restart, it will take a while, it will take a couple of minutes to restart. Okay, now my docker is up and it is running. You can see here. Now let me check if any of the docker container is running. No, nothing is running. Let me check my images. Okay, I have some images, docker hub, docker node Firefox debug, and let me delete this one absolute. container. Okay, now I have all three images which I wanted. I want one Selenium hub, one Selenium node for Firefox debug, one for Chrome debug. Okay, now let us see how we can start my hub. Okay, so this is the command, and from where I got this command? I got this command from this Selenium HQ Docker page itself. Okay, so if you go here, you can find how we are running the images. Docker run -d -p, and if you want to expose a separate port other than default, then that particular port name. So what I want to expose 4446 so that I can use it for my local test execution, because the default port will be 4444, and what I want to run is Selenium hub. Okay, so let me just run this command. Okay, okay, so now my command run is successful. Now let us go to docker ps. Okay, so here you can find container id. This is my container id. Okay, let me copy it. For Selenium hub is created 15 second ago, and it is running, and you can find it has exposed a port 4446 for you, so that which can be used for your local access. Okay, now let me get fine, let me get the logs. Okay, so how we can get it, some more details about the specific container. Docker logs and this container id which is copied from here, which is for my Selenium hub. Okay, let me just hit enter, and you can find something here, uh, the different information, your host, your port, then like all the details. And here at the bottom you can see the Selenium grid hub is up and it is running, and the node should register at this specific URL, and client should register to this specific URL. Okay, fine. So my hub is started now. Now what I want to do is I want to link my nodes. Okay, so to link the nodes we have some code over here. Okay, so here you can find docker run -d -link Selenium hub with my Selenium nodes. Okay, so that's the command which I have over here for my Chrome debug. Okay, so the command is docker run -d -p. So this -p, capital P, is to expose a separate port so that I can use that port to access my what I can say, the container, to view it via VNC viewer. I'll show you how we can do that. And I want to link Selenium hub, which is hub with Selenium node. Okay, so I have just copied the command. Let me paste it over here. Let me copy it again. Okay, so it is successful. Let me check status. Okay, so the container is running for Selenium node as well. Okay, so here is the container. Okay, and you can find it has exposed a port 32768. Okay, now if I check the log for my hub, let me copy this docker logs and this. Okay, so here you can find registered a node at this specific location. The node is registered, right? Earlier it was only this much, the client should register to this URLs, but now the node is registered. Now let me register my another node for Firefox. Okay, it is successful. Let me check the logs again. It should be still in process. Okay, so you can find here the node Firefox debug is running, and it has exposed a port 32769, and your Chrome is on 32768, and your Selenium hub is on 4446. Okay, and now I can use this specific port for my local execution. Okay, so how we can do the execution, let me show you. Okay, so now you can see both of my nodes are has established a connection now with the hub. The first one is for, let us say, for Chrome, and second one is for Firefox. Okay, so let us see now how we can do the execution. Let me go to my Eclipse. Okay, and in my Eclipse, okay, so this is what we did last time to do execution on browser stack. Okay, I must have copied my old code, okay, so that I can use it as it is without doing any modifications. Okay, so this is my old code which I was referring to execute on my Selenium grid. Okay, so I'm going to use the same over here, right? The difference will be only the port which I am using, and here I can use this as well, else instead of checking my IP address I need to check it, otherwise I'll give it as a local host. Okay, local host slash, what is my port? It is 4446. 4446. Okay, and my sorry give me a second, I missed something. Let me just change the local host on port 6. Okay, so that's the change I wanted. Okay, and here I will be doing the execution on my let us say Linux machine. Okay, because the containers runs on Linux only, so I'll be doing the execution on my Linux machine. Okay, so fine, so this should be the only change, I suppose. So what we'll be doing is, we now my, if you noticed here, I have exposed the port 4446, so I should connect to this port. Okay, so I have connected to that port, I have configured my URL like that. Now let me execute my test cases. Okay, now I didn't set up a Selenium grid explicitly, right? My Selenium grid running is only in Docker. Okay, so now let me just start my execution. Run as test ng test. Let us see what happens. Is there any issue here? No issues. Okay, so you can see the test execution is successful and your test1 title is this much, right? So as I said, you will not see anything on the Docker, but the test execution will be done. Okay, so you can see my test1 is executed. Now test2 is executed. How I can say it is executed? Because I got the title after launching this URL. Okay, so my test case is executed, and soon I should see the execution for my test case 3. Okay, so see, all three of my test cases are executed successfully. Fine, so that's what the execution was done on my Docker machine, because I did the setup for my Selenium grid on my Docker machine on port 4446. Okay, so that's it for this video about how we can do the execution on Docker. Now we have done the execution, but we didn't saw any UI. Okay, so as I said earlier, we will be using this port which is exposed for this debug, Node Firefox debug and Node Chrome debug. Okay, and we'll see the UI, like how the test execution happens over there. We'll connect through VNC viewer, and then finally we'll execute the tests from our continuous integration tool Jenkins. Okay, so thanks for watching.